Jesus Christ taught to judge the tree by its fruit, that a good tree would not produce bad fruit, and a bad tree would not produce good fruit. So what is it going to take, Americans, for you to judge the Rabbi Trump tree by the Rabbi Trump fruit? How many children need to be sacrificed to Moloch before you start to figure out that something's wrong here? If you will allow me, I will furnish you with some more information about just what Jesus was trying to get across with that parable from the Gospel of Thomas, which we only have because Jesus Christ loves you more than the Jewish people who call you Goyim, or filthy animal slave if you don't know your Hebrew, hate you. 43. His disciples said to him, "Who are you that you should say these things to us?" Jesus said to them, "You do not realize who I am from what I say to you, but you have become like the Jews, for they either love the tree and hate its fruit, or love the fruit and hate the tree." Now, if Jesus was Jewish, why would he be worried about his followers being like the Jews? Is this starting to unravel a little bit here for you? You're starting to see just how badly you've been lied to? Well, let us continue. You are $40 trillion in debt, and you don't have a single thing to show for it, except for a sticker that says, "I fell for it again." Or to put it another way, because maybe this might shock you awake, America is insolvent. We have $6 trillion in assets versus $40 trillion in debts. What did you get from it, America? What did you get? You got a government handpicked by the state of Israel who are all child molesting pieces of shit that they got on tape through their Jeffrey Epstein operation, which was a Mossad operation. His girlfriend, her father was big up in Mossad. If you can't see what really happened, you are fucking retarded. Americans need to wake up, and they need to wake up quick. No one is coming to save us. Nobody saved our forefathers. George Washington wasn't looking for somebody to come save him. He said, enough is enough. This is where it ends. We are going to be a free people that are free to worship however we damn well please, and we don't care how any country feels about it. And that is what has to happen again. Americans need to realize that having two parties means that there's only two people that need to be bribed or need to be controlled with some form of compromising information for you to be ruined and fucked over and led to the slaughterhouse, as you are. You are being led to damnation by a bunch of Judas goats that call you Goyim and think it's funny. They worship a group of fallen angels that they call the Elohim, or if you're unfamiliar with Hebrew, it means the lords of Saturn. El means lord of Saturn. Ohim is a suffix that makes it plural, thus the lords of Saturn. That's what their version of Genesis says made them, the lords of Saturn. It doesn't say God made them, it says the lords of Saturn made them. And if you want to know a secret, that's what you're currently calling aliens. That's what the government's teasing with UFOs. And if you want to know another secret, that's what Jesus Christ came to try and warn you about. He called them archons, and he described both reptilians and greys explicitly, thousands of years before anybody had any clue about this shit. And he even described alien abduction, but he called it stealing souls by night. Are you beginning to see how badly you have been lied to? Or do I need to continue? Because genuinely, no matter what happens from this point on, unless you have clearance from God or the universe or whatever the fuck you want to call it, you're not leaving this planet no matter what state you leave it in. If it's just a giant fireball, that's where you're gonna stay, and the lords of Saturn, or the lords of Satan if you would prefer, or the god of the earth that Jesus tried to warn you about, Satan, these evil aliens that eat misery and traffic souls, they are gonna torment you for the rest of time. Jesus was trying to warn you that these things are trying to death march you into damning yourselves so that you turn God's green earth into hell, a plane where you are tormented by them for the rest of time, and it's what you deserve, so no one else can get involved. No one can come and save you. And I think that's the part that's the hardest for me, is just knowing that no one's coming to save what mankind currently is. I really don't know why people have this idea that after they die, their problems are over. That's when they start for most of you, because most of you are bad people that don't care who you hurt or how badly you hurt them. As long as you get what you want, whether that's attention or money or whatever the fuck it is, you don't care. That's why this planet is such a shithole, because nobody actually tried to give what Jesus taught a try. Nobody. And that's the only way that we're ever gonna overcome any of this. is by following Christ's commandments and getting rid of all this horse shit that makes people self-important monsters. That's the only chance that we have, American. And that's a good chance. That is a better chance than you may imagine. I know a lot of people are pessimistic, and I'll tell you a secret. I'll tell you a secret about a prophecy from a long time ago that is basically responsible for Rosicrucianism. It was foreseen by a prophet that went by Joachim that the Antichrist would reign for 3.5 years, that he would be a secular king that would basically destroy all false religion. He would show and demonstrate to the world why we have to listen to Jesus, like why he was the coolest person that ever lived, like the master of religion, the one that could have showed us everything we ever wanted to know. I don't think you guys understand that his mission wasn't to be tortured to death on the cross. It was to show you a new way of life. That's just what you decided it was long after the fact. And then you decided that that meant that you didn't have to actually follow anything he taught. You just had to appeal to his authority until you get Rabbi Trump, the prophesied Jewish Messiah, the one that could turn hundreds of millions of Christians to Judaism, that could convince them to completely reject everything Jesus Christ ever said, did, or taught, and embrace a philosophy of there being chosen ones and Goyim. That's what he's done. You can act like this, like Donald Trump isn't a religious prophet, but he is. He's a satanic religious prophet. His goal is to damn the earth. My goal is to try to stop him. But my resistance is going to be proportional to the resistance I see in man. I'm going to be fine no matter what happens. I've seen what the day of judgment is like, and I'll reiterate it. It doesn't matter who you are, rich, poor, black, white, man, woman, doesn't matter. You are all so fucked. It is unbelievable. If I were to describe it to you, you'd probably laugh in my face and tell me I'm crazy. Until it happens. Piece of advice that is the way things go down. You do fuck things up that bad. You'll know that that's the case when the sky turns an odd shade of blood red. It'll be between winter and autumn, and you'll know. It'll be like nighttime, but you'll still see this like eerie, ominous red, like scarlet red, blood red color in the sky. And in your soul, like to the marrow of your bones, you'll know when you see that all hope is gone for you forever. The only thing you can really hope to do is to get underground and stay away from modern technology. That's all I'm going to give you on that front. Probably a lot more than you deserve if I'm being quite honest with all of you. Another little tidbit I'll give you if you haven't read the book of Revelation lately. The beast of Revelation, the one that is empowered by Satan the dragon, is done so to blaspheme. And he does so at the behest of the synagogue of Satan, using the Mystery Babylon as a medium. Now, what is Mystery Babylon? Well, let's turn to the book of Revelation for some clues. Mystery Babylon was something that all the merchants of the day relied upon, and which the beast of Revelation, Rabbi Trump, rose to prominence on. That would be the internet. In case you're wondering, that's how a mystic in a cave several thousand years ago would see the internet. He'd be like, this is some weird shit. I'm gonna call it Mystery Babylon. Obviously, the synagogue of Satan is Israel, and obviously the beast of Revelation is Rabbi Trump. The only question that remains is whether or not you will judge the Rabbi Trump tree by the Rabbi Trump fruit, and see that Jesus Christ tried to warn you about all of this. He tried to save you all this trouble. His teachings were designed to prevent any of this from ever happening. The problem was, nobody actually believed in him. That's what has to change. You can repent and redeem yourselves, or you can regret it and wish you had for the rest of time. I assure you, you have no conception for how long you're gonna be stuck in hell if you turn the earth into hell. Is it really worth it just to hate your neighbor? Just to give Jesus the middle finger and say, no, I'm not gonna love my neighbor. I'm gonna torment them so I can turn the earth into hell for the devil. Is that really what you want to do? Really think about it, because I'm telling you, nobody is coming to save you, and you are running out of time to prove that you are able to love thy neighbor as thyself.